Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking into something truly unsettling, the possibility of a black market for souls.
Yeah, a black market for souls.
You heard that right.
Yeah.
What if human consciousness itself is a commodity, like something that can be bought and sold and manipulated?
Yeah.
We're going to be drawn on some pretty wild sources for this one.
Yeah.
We've got ancient Mesopotamian texts,
We do.
biblical stories, modern UFO accounts,
Yes.
even alien interview transcripts and analyses of secret societies.
A very interesting mix. I think you might be surprised how these seemingly completely different sources all kind of start to connect and paint a pretty bizarre picture.
So let's start with these ancient Mesopotamian tablets. They tell stories of custodial gods,
Okay.
these powerful beings with advanced tech like flying chariots, think ancient UFOs,
Right.
who intervened in human affairs.
Mm-hmm.
Some researchers believe they may have shaped our history and beliefs, potentially even manipulating human genetics.
Right. And it's really interesting how these custodial gods, they kind of bear a striking resemblance to entities described in more modern UFO accounts.
Yeah.
And even the alien interview transcript. We're talking about these beings with advanced technology, and they seem to have a vested interest in humanity.
So are we saying that these could be the same players just showing up in different costumes throughout history?
Well, maybe. That's a wild thought.
It is a wild thought.
But let's not jump to conclusions just yet.
Okay.
Let's layer in another piece of the puzzle here.
Okay.
The alien interview transcript. Now, this transcript details an old empire that captures and manipulates something called immortal spiritual beings, ISBEs.
Right.
They essentially wipe their memories, implant false memories, and then send them to inhabit bodies here on Earth.
Hold on. So you're saying Earth is like a cosmic prison for our souls?
That's one interpretation.
Yeah.
And it gets even weirder when you consider the concept of provocateurism.
Provocateurism.
The idea that agents are deliberately used to stir up chaos and conflict for political gain. What if this tactic is being used on a much grander scale
Okay.
by these potential soul traders to keep humanity divided and controlled?
Okay. That's a lot to unpack.
It is.
So we've got these potential puppet masters manipulating our history,
Mm-hmm.
potentially even our genetics,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even controlling our minds through conflict and chaos. Where do secret societies like the Freemasons and the Illuminati fit into all this?
Well, they've long been associated with all these conspiracy theories about shadowy groups pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Right.
But if we look at it through the lens of our soul black market theory,
Yeah.
these societies could be seen as potential tools of manipulation, used to further the agendas of those in control. The alien interview transcript even suggests a connection between these groups and the old empire.
Whoa. So we're going full conspiracy theory here.
Well-
Are we saying that everything from ancient plagues to the formation of secret societies could be part of a larger plan to control human consciousness?
It's a possibility, albeit a far-fetched one. But remember, we're exploring the fringes here. We're trying to connect the dots between these unusual sources and see what kind of picture emerges. We're not saying any of this is definitively true,
Right.
but it certainly raises some interesting questions.
No kidding. But if these soul traders are so powerful, why haven't they succeeded in completely enslaving humanity? Surely there must be some kind of resistance.
There is.
Okay.
And this is where things get a little hopeful. Both the alien interview transcript and William Bramley in The Gods of Eden mention groups actively working to oppose these forces. The transcript refers to them as the Invisible College, a network of spirits dedicated to fighting theocracy, essentially the rule of these manipulative entities.
Okay.
Bramley, on the other hand, points to groups like the Brotherhood of the Snake, who have historically opposed those in power and fought to spread genuine spiritual knowledge.
So it's not a totally hopeless situation? There's a cosmic battle going on for our souls with brave rebels fighting for our freedom. This is like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does have that epic feel, doesn't it? But remember, we're talking about concepts that challenge the very fabric of our reality.
Well, I am definitely hooked. I need to know more about this resistance and how they operate. And most importantly, what can we do as individuals to fight back against this potential manipulation?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we fight back against forces that might be manipulating our reality?
Right.
Well, let's dig a little deeper into our sources and see what they suggest. Bramley, in The Gods of Eden, argues that a major part of this control mechanism lies in the manipulation of our economic systems.
Okay, so we're talking money, power, and control. How does that tie into the whole soul black market thing?
Well, think about it. Whoever controls the money controls the resources,
Uh-huh.
the flow of information,
Yeah.
even people's basic needs.
Right.
Bramley points to fractional reserve banking as a prime example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine a goldsmith issuing more notes than he actually has gold,
Mhm.
creating money out of thin air.
Mm.
That's essentially how our system works.
So it's like creating a system of debt that benefits the bankers while the rest of us struggle to keep up.
Exactly. And Bramley argues that this system has been deliberately manipulated throughout history to concentrate wealth and power in the hands of a select few. He even suggests that the Knights Templar, who started as like a humble Christian military order,
Right.
morphed into an early international banking house, amassing enormous wealth and influence.
Wait, are we saying that the Knights Templar were involved in some kind of ancient financial conspiracy?
Well,
That's a new one for me.
Bramley goes even further, suggesting that remnants of the Templars may have gone underground after their supposed demise, establishing a secret banking system that continues to influence the global economy today. Sounds crazy.
Yeah, it does sound a bit out there, I have to admit. But if we're entertaining the idea of a soul black market, then a shadowy financial system controlling the world isn't that much of a stretch.
Right.
Yeah.
And remember the alien interview transcript? It describes how the old empire uses warfare as a tool,
Uh-huh.
not just for conquest,
Yeah.
but to create chaos and division,
Yeah.
weakening humanity and making us easier to control.
So if we connect those two ideas, the manipulated financial system and the engineered conflicts, it's like they're using a 1-2 punch to keep us down.
It's a pretty bleak picture. No. But remember, we're trying to understand how this potential manipulation might be happening. It's not about fear-mongering.
Right.
It's about awareness.
Okay, so we've got the economic and the political control, but what about like individual mind control? How might these entities be messing with our thoughts and perceptions directly?
That's where things get even creepier.
Oh boy.
The alien interview transcript suggests that the old empire uses advanced technology to implant false memories, instill hypnotic commands, and essentially hijack people's thoughts.
So it's like they're hacking into our brains, turning us into mindless robots. In a sense, yes, but it's not always that overt. They also use more subtle means like manipulating our beliefs and perceptions
Okay.
through religion and the media.
That's a little less sci-fi and a bit more real world, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know how powerful propaganda and media narratives can be.
Exactly. Think about how religious indoctrination can be used to control people's behavior, instilling a sense of obedience to authority. Bramley even suggests that some religions might have been deliberately designed to keep us focused on a single external god, diverting our attention from our own inner power.
And it's not just religion, right?
No.
We're bombarded with messages and narratives through the media every single day,
We are.
shaping our worldview and influencing our decisions. Yeah.
And in the digital age, it's even more pervasive. Social media algorithms can target us with information that reinforces our existing biases, creating echo chambers that limit our perspective.
So we're drowning in information, but starving for actual knowledge. It's like we're being manipulated without even realizing it.
That's the insidious part. It's this subtle form of mind control that's hard to detect and even harder to resist.
Yeah.
But thankfully, our sources offer some clues about how to break free.
Okay, I am all ears. How do we fight back against this mental manipulation?
Well, the first step is awareness. The more we understand about how these potential control mechanisms work, the better equipped we are to spot them and resist their influence.
So knowledge is power, right?
Uh-huh.
But how do we actually break free from these mental chains?
Well, that's where things get a little more practical. And thankfully, both our ancient and modern sources offer some guidance.
Okay, so we've spent the last 2 parts of this deep dive kind of going down a pretty dark rabbit hole,
Yeah, we have.
talking about this potential soul black market,
Right.
manipulation through economic systems, and even direct mind control. It's heavy stuff.
It is heavy stuff.
But you mentioned that our sources offer some hope, some ways to break free from these influences.
They do.
So what can we actually do
Yeah.
to reclaim our, mental and spiritual freedom?
Well, the first step, as we discussed, is awareness.
Right.
Recognizing the potential for manipulation is crucial. But awareness alone isn't enough. We need to actively cultivate a mindset that can resist these influences.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Right.
It all sounds so abstract.
Think of it like building mental muscles.
Okay.
Just like physical exercise strengthens our bodies, certain practices can strengthen our minds, making them more resilient to manipulation.
So what are these mental workouts?
One powerful tool is critical thinking,
Okay.
learning to question everything, to analyze information carefully, to look for hidden agendas and biases. That's essential.
Right.
Don't just passively absorb what you're told or what you see online.
Right.
Dig deeper, consider different perspectives, and form your own conclusions.
It's like becoming your own fact checker, right?
Yeah.
Not just blindly trusting authority figures or popular opinions.
Exactly. And remember, we're not just talking about external authorities. We also need to be aware of our own internal biases,
Right.
the preconceived notions and assumptions that can cloud our judgment.
So it's about being honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Acknowledging our own blind spots, and being open to changing our minds when presented with new information.
That's a key part of it. And this is where practices like mindfulness and meditation can be incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
They help us to become more aware of our thoughts and emotions, to observe them without judgment, and to gain a greater sense of control over our inner world.
So we're not just fighting external forces, we're also cultivating a stronger sense of self,
Yeah.
a more grounded and centered being that's less susceptible to manipulation.
Precisely.
Okay.
And this connects to another important aspect of resistance community. Remember the Invisible College and the Brotherhood of the Snake?
Yeah.
These groups highlight the power of collective action, of coming together with like-minded individuals who share our values and support our growth.
So finding your tribe, your community of truth seekers, can be a powerful antidote to the isolation and manipulation that these forces might be trying to impose on us.
It's about creating a network of support, a space where we can share information, challenge each other's perspectives, and encourage each other on this journey of awakening.
That's really encouraging. So to recap, we've got critical thinking mindfulness community. These are the tools we can use to break free from this potential soul black market
Yeah.
and reclaim our freedom.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about becoming paranoid or fearful. It's about empowerment.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the forces that might be at play and taking conscious steps to navigate them.
It's about choosing awareness over ignorance.
Yeah.
And action over apathy.
Exactly. And remember, even small acts of resistance can have a ripple effect. By cultivating our own awareness and sharing it with others, we contribute to a collective awakening that can ultimately shift the balance of power.
So to our listeners out there, don't underestimate your own power. You have the ability to break free from these influences and create a more conscious and empowered reality, both for yourself and for humanity as a whole.
That's a great way to put it. Keep questioning, keep learning, keep connecting, and never give up on your own potential for growth and liberation.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the soul black market. It's been a wild ride.
It has. And remember, the journey of awakening is an ongoing process.
Yes.
Stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep searching for the truth.